Thanks for joining Live with Laura today. We are going to get started and go through just a little bit of our PowerPoint like we normally do until we jump into Epic. All right, so today we're going to be talking all about Epic servicing. So I'm really excited to be able to show you guys some of the features in Epic and servicing your clients. Really want you guys to be interactive with me. So if you can chat, raise your hand, that would be very helpful. Chat in what it is in Epic that you would like us to go over if we don't already go over it earlier in the afternoon. Stephanie says she's hearing an echo. Is anybody else hearing an echo? All right, Catherine said no. All right, so today, March is all about luck of the Irish. So lucky for all of you. We are going to show you some of the Epic servicing features. So the Dream Team and I, we're going to go through all of this with you. But first, what I always like to go through is what's new in our education department. And I know that you guys have seen this over and over and over and over again. But the Breakfast Brew is the newsletter that we send out to everybody. So it was sent to you guys on the 1st of the month, and I'm going to pull it up so you can see what it looks like. So we're going to give you guys all kinds of helpful information. Registering for Live with Laura is one of them, along with different features on different carriers. We have this new secret word in here that we would like you guys to not chat in yet, but then some pro tips, how to enter in a package policy, working in EasyLinks. We supplied all of these quote sheets for you guys. So it is going to be very beneficial for you guys to be going in, reading the brew, telling us what you like about it. We don't have a partnership with Hippo anymore. So we put that in here, upcoming as Nationwide is changing some of their policy numbers at renewal. And for us to get you guys all of this information, we're going to put it into the Breakfast Brew because I don't have time to cover it all during a Live with Laura. So take a look at this, join our Facebook groups. There's Facebook groups in all your different areas as well. So you can take advantage of that. So that's going to be really helpful, and to let you know, we know who's looking at it and who's not. So click on some of the things in there. We have the brew bucks. So brew bucks are going to be something amazing for you guys to have coffee on us. Click on it. Let us know what you liked. What did you like in this Breakfast Brew? What would you like to see in upcoming Live with Laura's upcoming in our newsletter? So let us know. The secret word, don't say it yet, but we have this goofy thing that I'm doing as a secret word because we need everybody to be reading this, and the secret word is going to be revealed at the end of Live with Laura today, and you can win some great secret swag. So last month's winner was Kevin Berger and Deanna Middleton. There was a tie for that. So they both received some great swag. So Deanna's on with us now. She can chat in. She got a box full of stuff, and so is Kevin. So hopefully, Kevin, you received your box as well. The Breakfast Brew Bucks was David LaRue. He gave us some great feedback. So then he's going to get some brew bucks, some coffee on us. So Kevin, let me check on that and make sure that you did get that. And Deanna said, thank you for the great box of goodies. It was like Christmas. That's great, Deanna. Thanks for reading the brew. We really appreciate it. Our LMS, it's growing every month. More and more agents are jumping on and taking advantage of all of the education's hard work and putting together different learning paths and stuff to help you better run your agency. All these different servicing that we're going to show you, it doesn't even touch on what other servicing that we have available in the LMS. We have servicing 1, 2, and 3. So there's all kinds of different things that you can learn by taking advantage of using the LMS. All right, servicing. I'm going to just jump right in. We're going to go right into Epic so then you guys can work right along with us. All right, I got to stop my video and get into Epic. All right, so I use the Epic browser. So if some of you are still using the install version of Epic, see down below on my screen, the install version is going to be going away. Applied Systems is always coming and updating the Epic browser, and they do that about every 2 weeks. So if there's something that needs to be fixed, they come in. It's so easy for them to come in and do any kind of updates on the browser. So after 2024, they're not going to be updating the install version. So I really suggest that everybody get in, try the browser if you're not already using it, and let us know what you think. And how do you get to the browser? So up here, the ALLEG01, so right here, that's how you're going to get into the browser. So if you want to write that down, or we can send you guys some information on that, hey, we'll put that in the brew for next month as well, using the Epic browser. Go ahead, and then when you log in, you're going to use this ALLEG01 as the enterprise ID and put in your username and password that you do on the install version of Epic. All right, anything that I missed on that, Catherine?
Nope, I don't think so.
Okay. All right. So I'm going to jump right in here. And I went in and I looked up my training clients. So Ginger and Guy Redbud. Here's my little sticky notes. So if you wanted to go in and add sticky notes anywhere in Epic, you can add sticky notes. So let's say this one here, put the dates and that guy moved out. Or you know, maybe there was a divorce, or maybe you wanted to put in here that, you know, somebody's going to be, you know, having a baby. So just put in the date so you don't ask them, hey, how is the baby doing? And they're in high school. So put in the date and, you know, having baby boy. Okay. And then you, next time you talk to them or anybody in the agency that does talk with them, can see this note and say, oh yeah, hey, how's the baby doing? You know, so you can use that here, and you can use it under policies, under contacts, you can use it anywhere in Epic. And to get to that, all you do is go to new, and then you'll see sticky note. If you're following along on your other screen in Epic, that's up at the top. It's the new with the plus sign, and then you would click on sticky note. Now I added another sticky note here. So see how it says 2 of 2? If I go back, then I can see my 1 of 1. I love sticky notes. You'll probably see them more and more as we're going through. All right. And then if you are ever in here and you see it look like that, and you're like, I know I put some wording in there. All you got to do is just make it a little bigger, so then you can see the text. And that's a sticky notes. All right. Let's move on. So we got sticky notes covered. Now I'm going to go over here to account detail. So when I'm looking at the account detail for my clients, over here at the bottom left, I am going to see information on them. I call this like the Rolodex here. So you can see that there's the phone number and an email address. And if you needed to update any of that information, you can do this right here. Now, let's say Ginger and Guy move. So they move down the street. They have a new address. You do not need to add in another account for them. All you need to do is come in here and change their address. That's it. Just change their address. So you're not going to have a duplicate account in Epic for this client. Now, if it gets a little, you know, muddy waters here for Ginger and Guy, and now one of them moves out of the house. So we get this a lot where somebody says, how do I separate this account? Well, the one thing that you need to do is who's staying in the house. So this is how I do it. Whoever's staying in the house is the one that I'm going to keep this main account for. And then I would go in and have to create another account for Guy. So then Ginger's going to have her own account, Guy's going to have her own account. And then it's possible that Guy's going to have another home. You're going to add that in, or an auto policy. But don't remove one of the spouses from the account if their name is still on the house, because you need to know that. And you can put that information right in here in your little sticky note, or if they're still on the auto policy. And you can check with your carriers on how they want you to do that if somebody moves out of the household or if somebody's divorced. If they're moving out, they're not divorced, most carriers are going to want you to keep them together on the policies. But if they are divorced, then there's a little bit of different things that you might have to do with each carrier. So make sure you ask your carrier reps when you get into that situation. All right, so now if I look down here where it says description, I can change this description to be their residence, or maybe it's their business. So I have that here, I can always change. But if I'm under contacts, let me go to contacts over here. I add every single one of the contacts into Epic, no matter how old they are, no matter if they're driving or if they're not driving. That way, you can always cross-sell opportunities for them with AAA memberships, medical supplement, life insurance, whatever it may be. So asking about the entire household would be really helpful in putting that information in here. But I'm going to go over here and I'm going to edit Lissy Redbud. So my client here has the same address, but now let's say it's a different address. Oh, it's not going to let me. Son of a gun, I'm sorry. Let me unclick that. All right. So now I can put in a mailing address for this teenager. I can also come down here and put their away at school address. So if they're away at school and they have a vehicle there, you can come in here for this contact and add their address in. I think that's pretty cool because you need to know where that vehicle is garaged at, and you can always come back in here and check. But I'm just going to put it back on, use the account address. You can also add their mobile phone, their email address. So if this client calls up and says, hey, it's Lissy and I need a auto ID card, you can go in and email it right over to them. All right, let's get out of this one. And now I'm going to go into policies. All right, so now we're in the policy section, and a lot of times the carriers are issuing policies, the auto, the home, the umbrella, with the same policy numbers, which is now considered a packaged policy within Epic. So I'm going to create a package policy. I already have one in here, but I'm going to come in here and show you guys what I'm going to do here. So I'm going to create, and I'm going to use the PCK1 for personal lines. I'm going to put the policy number in. I'm going to put my expiration dates. It's a new policy. It's direct bill. Let's see, what company do we want to use? So I'm going to put in Encompass, because Encompass, I believe, uses the same policy numbers for their autos and their homes. And it doesn't matter, because when I check this use commission agreement box, this is not going to matter for this purpose, because what we're going to do once we add this in is we are going to delete this line of business. So I'm going to click detail. Chat in if I'm going too fast, okay? Chat in if I am. So I'm going to close out of my follow-up on download activity just because this is my training client, but you're going to want to make sure you follow up on your download. Always checking your downloads daily, weekly. You want to make sure that all your policies are downloading. All right, so now I'm in my package policy. And what makes a package is that there are additional lines of business. So I'm going to add in the auto. It's a new policy. Now, if you do have profit centers, you can change your profit center up here, and I'll get into that a little bit in a little bit. And you want to pick what you just wrote. What did you just write? I just wrote a package premium auto policy. It automatically pulls up the percentage. If you are writing a piece of business with a wholesale company, and when you do check this commission agreement box and it is blank, uncheck it and then add in your own commission that you know what the carrier is providing you. So uncheck it, add in the percentage, and that will update on your reports. So I'm going to put the premium in. I'm going to click calculate. And now I'm going to add another line of business. So if you were adding a commercial line, there's I think it's a CCP1 or it's a CK1, something like that for a package policy. We can take a look at it.
It's CPKG.
Thank you very much, Taylor. Oh, look at Deanna's already put in there. All right, so you can put that in there for commercial, and then you can use the different lines that you wrote. Usually it's a GL-S or the PROP for property. All right. So I'm going to go in here and I'm going to change this drop down to my Premier Home. And then I'm going to add in. And then when I click finish, it is going to show you my auto and my home under the lines of business. So now I highlight this package policy. And now I'm going to delete it. Am I sure? Yes. Because that package line shouldn't be on there. But if you forgot to, if you forgot to delete it and you go to download that policy, when that pop-up comes up that says, do you really want to do this? You're going to see in that box and it's going to say only add in the lines that downloaded. So then on renewal, it's going to only show you your auto and your home. All right, so now I have my auto and my home. I deleted my package line, which is important. But one other thing I wanted to show you is if you are splitting commission with your producers in your agency, so they have their own profit center, you're going to, or they're going to, use the drop down under profit center, and then you'll probably have a big long list, or maybe you just have profit center A or B or C. You're going to choose that profit center. Then you're going to click over here on the PRBR, and we talk about PRBR a lot. Downloads, PRBR, commissions, those are our buzzwords all the time. So in order to get paid, your producer to get paid properly, this PRBR needs to be set up. So you need to have two names here if you're using a profit center. So let's say it's Laura Hamilton, Kathy Bova is my agency owner. This percentage here should equal your split you have with Asnoa. So because this is my training client, it's going to show 0, but it should equal. So now sometimes we send out emails that say, hey, accounting noticed that you have some policies that are not, equal to your split with Asnoa, either because somebody didn't enter it incorrectly, they just entered the producer's name, not the agency owner's name as well. So two names if you're using a profit center. If you don't have this entered incorrectly, what's going to happen is our accounting department is going to pay the agency and show on the reports the full 85 81, whatever percentage split that you have with Isnoa, they're gonna pay that all. So when that producer report comes out, it's gonna show Kathy Bova got all of the commission, and then Laura Hamilton didn't get any because this was not entered correctly. And I'm gonna stop right here because is there any questions on profit centers?
Julie was asking how she can see her profit centers.
Julie, are you splitting commissions with any staff members? If you are splitting commission, Julie, we can look that up and we can look to see what your profit centers are. So Julie, if I worked for you, then I could be profit center A, and then we could have a split with whatever it is. So Julie, hang on, and we will look that up and we will let you know. If you have staff that you're bringing on, we have a staff intake form that needs to be filled out. And I'm going to show it to you. This needs to be filled out in order for your new staff member to get access to Epic, carrier appointments, to give them easy links, and to set up commissions for them. So even if they are a seasoned producer with you and you're like, okay, well, we're going to change the commission agreement, just let us know. We need you to fill that out. We can set up all of the profit centers and the commission splits on the back. The one thing that you can't do, and this is where the issue lies, is come in here and add in your own percentage. It has to be a percentage that we have set up for them on the back end. So we have to have this set up in order for it to populate onto your reports, onto the producer report, in order for the renewal commissions to come through and to show that split. So please don't just change it based off of, oh, I'm going to give them a little extra this month. Okay, so let me finish this. All right, so the lines of business, auto. It's important because the carriers are downloading pretty much anything with wheels as an auto. So your motorcycles an auto, your antique cars are an auto, your travel trailers are an auto. So put those in as auto and the downloads will come through and you won't have to manually go in and update those. Home. If you are adding the policy in and there's no commission, so you're coming in here and you check this and there's no commission that's coming up, check to see if you have the right line type, because a renter's is a home, a condo is a home. One thing that's completely different here is a home and a dwelling fire. So your home you live in, your dwelling fire, you rent it out. Or, it's a secondary home, or however the carrier is going to issue that for you. So you have to put in the line of business if it's a fire or a home, completely different. Those will not update and download into Epic for you. If you are entering those in as a renter's or as a condo, the only thing that's going to be different is they will still download, but this will be different on your book of business report. It will show zeros. So if you notice that, but if it's a dwelling fire, completely different. Dwelling fire, you have to come in here when it downloads because it's going to go right to suspense, and you would have to delete that line and add in a completely new policy, completely new. All right, so PRBRs, profit centers, any questions on that?
Yeah, we have one for sure. If it's a wholesale carrier, do they need to enter a PRBR?
If it's a wholesale carrier, because the commission is going to the agency.
Right.
That's entirely up to you on if you want that to run reports to show that that agent brought in that piece of business. So if you're getting commission that is sent directly to you from a wholesale company, do you want to come in here and look to see who it is? If you don't have the PRBR in there, you're not going to know who to pay. So my suggestion would be keep everything updated and consistent and put in the correct profit center. And then now that you brought up wholesale, if you are receiving commission directly to you from a wholesale company, it's important that you send that statement to our accounting department so they can reconcile that override of commission that would be owed to ASNOA. If you're not, and you're like, I haven't done that yet, start getting those statements together, periodically. There are audits that our accounting department can do. It's random. So you never want to have to owe a whole bunch of money at the end. So take a look at what wholesale business that you're having, the commissions that you're receiving, and send that into our accounting department. And soon, when our agent portal is updated, you'll be able to submit those right onto our agent portal. All right, any other questions on packaged policies and profit centers?
Julie had a question. She put her hand down. Did you still have a question, Julie? Oh, she put it back up. Do you want to allow her to unmute Laura?
Yeah, let me find it.
I can do it real quick.
I got it.
Got it. Perfect.
Hi,
So-
Julie.
Hi, Laura. So I should be able to see what these profit centers are. I know I had it set up. I have a producer coming on. We're getting ready to write some business. And I should be able to see what that is because I have a profit center A and then mandatory profit center. But profit center A doesn't mean anything to me. I have no idea what that means.
So you bring a producer on, you're splitting commission with them. Any business that they bring in to the agency should have, you should use profit center A. See where this is PFC, there should be a drop down for A here.
I understand that, but where can I see that in my Epic, what that means? Like, there should be a place where I can see exactly what profit center A is.
Because you want to know what the commission splits are for them?
Because let's say I have 10 producers, how do I know which is A, which is B, which is C?
Good question. We have agencies that we're in, triple digits for the alphabet. So we have an agency and it's, we have ABC or, those different ones. You would just have to keep record of that. There isn't a place that it is in Epic that will have that whole information on who they are, because when you do this drop down, all you're going to see is profit center A, B, C, D, E. You're just going to have a whole big list, and then you're going to pick the correct one. So Deanna's saying she keeps a profit list by agent name. So they have A through M. So then when you're putting
So
one
right
in,
now, I can't go in there and see what that is unless I click on profit center A.
yeah, it's set up on the back end. We would give you a list, we could get you a list of all the different profit centers and the agreements that you have. You could enter that into an Excel spreadsheet. So when anybody within the agency is entering policies for Laura Hamilton, for you, Julie, for, Taylor or Catherine, they would know which profit center to pull down.
And you just have randomly decided that we should do them A, B, C, or is that mandatory in Epic?
Yeah, that's how it is in Epic. It just starts with A and goes all the way down. We do have an agents that, okay, so if it's Laura, it's profit center L. If it's, Julie, it could be profit center J. We like to keep them A, B, C, D in order, but we can be creative for you.
It's okay as long as I understand what it is and what that means.
Yep, profit center A, B, C, D, we can give you a list every time that you add in a new producer.
And mandatory profit center is the 100% to the agency.
That's your split with ESNOA directly to you. So you write a piece of business, you are PFC. Or let's say anybody who calls in on the phone, it could be PFC, or anybody who answers the phone, they are allowed to take that, and then that would go in under their profit center.
Okay, got it. Okay, thank you for clarifying that. I appreciate it.
You are very welcome. Anybody else have any other questions? So I'm working on a project right now with trying to clean up all the profit centers and the splits that are incorrect. So if you do receive an email from me, that is why. And that's how you're going to fix those, by going and editing the policy, going into the PRBR, and then just going in. And because I have so many different ones for my test account, we're just going to go in and add it in. And then it's going to pull it. That's how you're going to go in and update it and add them. All right. Was there any other questions, Taylor or Catherine?
think
Not
we're
right now.
good.
Okay, so now I'm Xing out of this. You are going to leave this in process. Do not update the stage to submitted. You do not need to do that anymore. Many of our agents who have been with us for a while, you had to update the stage to submitted in order for the download to come through, and they have changed that. You do not need to go through that extra step. Leave it in process, click to finish. When the download comes through, it is going to update the service summary row. Maybe. See, on Zoom, I get this. Sorry about that, guys. All right, so on the service summary row, you are going to see it's in process. As soon as the download comes through, it's going to update it to issued for you, changed by download. Now, the other question is, hey, I just wrote a piece of business. This carrier doesn't download. Now, what do I do? All right, you're going to manually issue it. So I'm going to go to actions, and then I'm going to go to issue, not issue policy. Carrier that doesn't download, I'm going to issue, not issue policy. I'm going to click finish. At this point, I can change the policy number or my dates, issue, and then click finish. So now I manually issued this policy. Don't do that if it's from a carrier that downloads. All right, so that's how you manually issue this. Any questions on that? No. So now, the good question came through. I'll show you guys this right now. So now I have a auto policy that's coming up for renewal. I'm going to take this one. It's coming up for renewal. I have to manually issue it because I haven't done that yet. Issue, not issue policy. And then I'll show you how to renew it. All right, so it's an issued policy. I'm going to come up here. I'm going to go to actions and I'm going to renew it. The download's not coming through. The carrier doesn't download. So on any of those policies, you have to go in and manually renew them. Don't add a new policy in, because now you got a policy that's just lingering out there that will show up on your past expiration report. Come in here, go to actions renew, and you're going to see the pop-up come up. Now, let's say this carrier changes this last number from a 2 to a 3. I can change that here. Use my commission agreement box. And then I can click finish. So I'm going to renew this policy. I'm going to close out of that. because I don't need to follow up on the renewal. So you're going to go to actions, renew, and then you're going to see it's still in process. So I'm going to go to actions and then I'm going to issue it, because the carrier isn't going to download it. The carriers are going to download the new business, policy changes, cancellations, reinstatements, rewrites, renewals. They are going to download all of that stuff. And what it stems from is that very first new business policy that you write, following up on that business, making sure that it downloads, and then it's going to go and automatically update everything for you. Did that answer your question on renewing a policy?
Julie wants to know where you can update the coverages on a renewal policy.
Okay. All right, so now I'm going to go into endorsements, and this is going to be pretty much the same. All right, so I'm going to come over here back to this auto policy. Let me issue it. I got a lot that aren't issued. You guys don't want to see what my past expiration on my trading client looks like. All right, let me get this one and I'll show you. Come on, there we go. So I'm going to go to actions. And I got a client that just said to me, hey, I need to make an auto change. I just purchased a new vehicle. I need to get rid of one. And as I'm talking to them, I'm going to the policy and I want to endorse, revise this existing line. Yes, if the carrier downloads, it's going to download that change. But what we do here in the home office is we go in and we endorse, revise the existing line. Then we can create the follow-up on download activity to make sure that that change is done. So you get really busy all day long. Phones are ringing, things are going on. So this is a way to make sure that you did make this change. And I'm not going to say if this is a true statement or not, but I was working, doing a state auto, client came in, doing a state auto, changing an auto, and went through the steps like I'm going to show you. Seen my follow-up on download activity, and I'm like, why did that change not download? Oh, because hypothetically speaking, Laura didn't go in to state auto and make that change because she got so busy. So that follow-up on download activity really saves you when you are going through and following up on your downloads. So today's the 14th. So I'm going to put the date in. And now I'm going to put in that I'm going to add 2013. Let's forward, remove 2011 forward. So I can put this description in, click detail, and I'll show you what this looks like on the service summary row. Kind of see it down here while it's updating. And when I do this, I get the follow-up on this endorsement. So I'm going to make sure that the carrier downloads it. I'm going to make sure that if it's a carrier that doesn't download, I'm going to make sure that I get that change request, the documentation that they updated the policy through a new deck page. So I have these options of keeping it open and closed. Keep it open so you make sure that it downloads. I'm closing it just for the sake that it's my training client. And do you see how this policy opened up? And that's the same what it'll do with your renewal as well, Julie. It opens up. So these are your accord forms. So now I can come in here to vehicles and I can add and remove the vehicle right here. So I can add, remove vehicles once I get this open. And the only way after it's issued to do that is to endorse it. All right, I'm gonna X out of it. I'm gonna leave it in process because I'm gonna let my download update this. And when I come back, I can see that I made this change. So this is the change that I'm looking for. Do you see that on my service summary row down at the bottom? If you are looking at any of yours in Epic, then you might see it just says change. You know, it's because you did not update that description. I can always change my service summary row description. So let's say they came back and they're like, nope, I did not buy the Ford. So now I'm going to add 2013 Ram. I'm going to remove the 2011 Ford. So I can make these changes to that service summary row at any time, even if it's in process, it's issued, I can go ahead and make those changes. When the download comes through, it will say issued, but if this carrier doesn't download, then I'm going to come up to actions and I'm going to go to issue, not issue endorsement. And this is a great way to protect yourself too, to make sure that you are doing the changes. If you're the only one in the agency, I don't know how anybody can keep record of the phone ringing and quoting and doing servicing work. Well, you can do that right here in Epic when they call you on the phone. Maybe they're going to email you. So you can open up your email and you can drag and drop right into attachments. Drag and drop right over here. Any emails that you are going back and forth with the underwriters, with your clients, you know, whoever it may be, you can drag and drop those right here. If you are getting documents that you are emailing to them, drag and drop them right in here. All of that information you can add into attachments. All right, so let's see, Julie, so this is just setting up a reminder that you need to do this on the carrier website and to make sure that the download comes through. So you're going to make sure that this download comes through. You're making sure that you did do the change for it and you have record that you made this change. And that's what it is. Maybe, you know, a couple of days from now, the client calls you back and they're like, yeah, you know, I have the new vehicle. Did you make that change for me? I didn't see anything come through from the insurance company. And you can see it right here. Yep, I made that change for you on the 14th. You should be receiving documents from them. But I'm going to go ahead and issue you an auto ID card. So from a download, and I'm going to show you this real time. All right, let's see if I can find, oh, maybe I should spell my name right. Oh. All right, so I'm going to go into my actual policies and show you guys how to do an auto ID card. So you went in, you made the change, you opened up the entire policy, you added the vehicle in there, and now you want to go in and do an auto ID card. And it's downloaded, so I can go to actions and I can issue auto ID card. Instead of going into the carrier, I'm going to issue the auto ID card from Epic. And it's going to pop up. So from here, here's where I can do all my auto ID cards. I can select them all to issue them, or just select one at a time. So I have this option, and I can click over here on the distribution tab. I can email it to my client, I can print it to them, or I can just go in and fax it if people are still doing faxes. So that's an option as well. I always suggest previewing it before you're going to send it to make sure that the correct vehicle is on there. And then you can also add in, I'm sorry, let me go back to that. You can add in that new auto ID, the VIN number. Oh, sure, I can. All right, so I can go in here and look, I can click plus. And I can add a new one. Put the VIN number, year, make, and model in there. And I'm going to select both of them. I'm going to click download and print. What required information. And I'm just going to click it to print so I can show you guys. These are set up for your state specifically. So here's an auto ID card. I can look at both of them. In the state of Illinois, we don't need auto ID cards. We can just download the app to where the carrier is and pull that up on the phone. I'm kind of old school, so I do have paper in my car. And my husband, hopefully nobody's on here that's gonna rat on me, but he would never know how to open up that app and pull up that auto ID card. So for me, the kids can have it on their phones and then he can have it, the paper copy. No, if you add a new one on here, if you added a new one on there, it does not automatically add it into the account. You have to go in and do that endorsement to add it in there. So you still have to do the work by going into actions and endorse, revise the existing line. Did that help, Holly? All right. Any questions on that? Manually issuing, manually renewing that. You don't need to update the state, just submit it anymore. Now this, oh, I better not do that on my own. All right, so now we have this endorsement that came through. Now we're going to remarket them and we are going to put this client with another carrier. So I need to cancel this and I want to generate cancellation requests so I can have my clients fill that out and sign it. We do not cancel any policies here in the home office unless we have a signed cancellation notice. All right, so I'm going to go up to actions and I'm going to go to cancel because I'm moving them over to, I don't know, Safeco. So I'm going to go this and I'm going to rewrote the Safeco. And then I can click details. So Holly's question was, why would she need to add in the VIN number to do the auto ID card? If you're going to go in and do it with the carrier. So if you're doing a wholesale and you need to send in that request and they don't do it right away for you, but you have binding authority, you can go in and create these auto ID cards directly from Epic. All right, so I'm going to cancel this policy. And I am going to close this activity because it's canceled. My training client don't want to keep that open. All right, so if I look at this, now I have it's canceled. So now I'm in the cancellation for that. And I can go up here and I can print this cancellation. So now I'm going to send this cancellation over to my client for them to sign. And of course, I got my auto ID card. Here we go. So I'm going to print this cancellation and you get all the same tabs. And I'll show you what it looks like. So you guys can see this, and then you can, if you have an e-signature, I advise that you just send this right over to them through that. This just does not want to open for me. I apologize, guys. There we go. Come on, it's thinking. Here. And let me open it. All right, so here's your cancellation. It's your accord. It's your cancellation. Puts the client's name on here, puts the producer's name, whoever's on that, for that policy, and then you can send it off to your e-signature. You don't have to go in and create your own cancellation forms. They're right here in Epic. So easy, but you have to cancel the policy like I just did in order to get the print cancellation. Have to go in and do that. Any questions on that? Did I miss any questions, Catherine? Taylor, did I miss anything?
Right. Julie just said, does she still have to cancel on the carrier website?
Yes, yes. Epic is only your management system for internally for your policies, for reporting. You always need to go in and make your endorsements, your cancellations, everything that needs to be done on the carrier. You need to go into the carrier website to do that. All right, so I'm going to do this print change request, and that was in the same one under new, under print, sorry, print and the change request. So we have our clients sign the change request. And I don't know if you guys have heard me over and over before, or you were on with EasyLinks. Anytime a client wants to change coverages, please make them sign something that says they want to remove full glass. They want to remove their water backup coverage. Any coverage they want to remove, have them sign something. This is taking a long time. I apologize, but it's going to be the same form. It's going to be the accord form. It's going to show your policy, and then you can go in and have them sign it as well. And that is a change request form. So you have the cancellation, change request, the new, you can add sticky notes, you can print a receipt for payments. So if I click on receipt for payments, I can put in the amount that they came in and gave you. I can add it to the policy. These are going to be really helpful for your home policies. When your clients are purchasing a new home, you can print out a receipt for payment. Any questions on that? Some of you are very quiet. All right, I'm going to get rid of that one. All right, we're running out of time. So I just wanted to make sure that I covered everything that I wanted to cover today. But I also wanted to show you that if you do have access to the LMS, we do have the different servicing and the different learning paths that are in here. So servicing 1, 2, and 3. And they're going to give you a whole bunch more of the different features that are in servicing in Epic. 1, 2, and 3. And oh, are they in the LMS, Julie? Yes. Hey, they're right here. All right, so you have access to that. If you don't, if your agency does not have access to the LMS, I advise you, let us know. We will make arrangements. We will get you guys access for it. It is $25 a month. It's going to give you all kinds of information on all the different learning paths, the different webinars that we have available. We're going to put in here our small business commercial, our personal lines coverage courses. Different carriers have their trainings in here as well. All your Epic, your download, EasyLinks, vendors, and our webinars. So that is part of our LMS. Every month, Catherine is creating a new learning path to put in there. All right, is there anything else anybody wants me to show them? Again, did somebody need me, Brianna needed me to pull up the cancellation request again? Sure, as long as your policy is canceled, you go to print and you go to the cancellation. It is that simple. Now, if this is with a carrier that doesn't download, you need to issue this. So I'm going to actions and I'm going to issue the cancellation. The download's going to take care of all that for you, but if it doesn't, then you need to make sure you change the status to CAN. And then what'll happen is it will show cancel on your screen for your policies. And we want it to show canceled. If it's a canceled policy, you rewrote it to somewhere else, it should be canceled in Epic because you don't want to have a duplicate policy showing up on your book of business report. So it is going to be very helpful to make sure that you are, keeping up with your policies that are in Epic, because then your reports are going to be accurate. Your downloads are going to come through. You don't want to miss anything that is going to come up for renewal with an increase in premium. It downloads and you never followed up on that first download. You didn't even know that it renewed or canceled. And now your whole account in Epic is all messed up. So you need to get in there and actually fix that. Yes. So just letting it expire is not okay. No, it's not okay. We need to keep them updated. So if you have a wholesale policy, you need to come in and cancel it if it canceled. By not having it canceled in Epic, there's the past expiration report that you guys get probably monthly. That's going to show any policies that are not updated and accurate in Epic. So you want to be able to look in here and have a complete understanding of your entire history for your client. If I click on this drop down from policies current and renewed, I can click all except marketed. It's going to show me every single policy that I had for this client as long as you've had them as a client. So if I scroll down, it's going to show me, look, I'm showing 2019, 2018. It's going to show me all of these policies. And let's say somebody, your client gets audited and they need to show proof of insurance, and you're doing proofs of insurance, which is a whole other beast to get into. But you can come in here and you can see the activity for your clients. If it's not canceled, and you're like, why is that policy canceled? Did it cancel midterm? Did it cancel on the effective date? When did that policy cancel? Because I need to do a certificate of insurance. So it's important to keep this updated. And if you're not, and you're new, and you're like, I'll get to that later. Trust me, you don't want to, in a year, 3 months, 6 months, 2 years, come back in and say, okay, now I want to do what you guys told us to do in the very beginning. And we're going to say, great, we are so excited and we're doing a happy dance. And then we're going to say, here's 2 reports we need you to clean up. And you're going to say, ooh, wish I would have listened to you guys in the very beginning, because now I don't have time to clean that up. Now I'm working weekends or late nights to try to get that cleaned up. So we're not just telling you these things. They're important. They really and truly are. To keep everything updated. This is your management system. You can do everything in the management system. You have all your reporting. Everything is available here for you. All right. Did that help with that question? Okay. Perfect. Brianna, if you want to stay on, I'll get to that past expiration report and how you clean that up. All right. We went through package policies. Oh, the other thing I wanted to show you too, if you are writing with NBS, Nationwide Broker Solutions, if you are writing policies with them, if you have no idea what I'm talking about, Nationwide Broker Solution is another option to write additional business with. You're going to put in here the premium payable is going to be the Nationwide Broker Solution. So you're going to choose the NBS 100 and whatever issuing company that Nationwide Broker Solution issued that business with. Nationwide Broker Solution doesn't have to issue business with just Nationwide. They can issue business they have with Travelers, with different wholesale companies. So that's another option as well. And you would have that issuing company be whoever issued that piece of business. And that's the same for wholesale company too. So if you have another wholesale company, let's say it's NCCI assigned risk, and then they wrote that piece of business with the Travelers, of course. And then I'm going to put in, oh, because Traveler does its own. Let me go back here. It does not want me to do it. Come on. It's not going to stick. I apologize for that. But that's how you're going to do your wholesale. You're going to put in whatever wholesale company you use, and then who they issued the piece of business with. That is how you're going to issue wholesale and NBS. Any questions on that? All right. So I think I went through a whole lot today, and I'm not sure if any of you guys are like, wait a minute, what did she say? What did she do? We have all kinds of videos and everything available to you. Go into the LMS and take advantage of that. Yep, anytime you go in, you can make a change to anything on any of these policies. And then all you have to do is edit. I'll do this one. All you got to do is edit the policy. You can change the policy number. You can change the premium. You can change the profit center. You can change the PRBR. And you can change the premium. You can do all of that after the policy's been issued. You got all that available to you. So you can change that. Oh, I didn't write it with Travelers. I wrote it with Titan. Re-click your commission agreement and you're all set. All right, I know I'm running out of time, guys. So I just wanted to jump back into my PowerPoint, our Epic servicing, go through the recap. We have these all available for you. Just let us know if you guys have any additional questions. Oh, inputting branch insurance. You're going to input that as separate lines of business for auto and home, and you're going to put that in just like they issued it. Policy number, a dash, home, dash, whatever numbers that are in there. We are going to, hey, Eric, read April's Breakfast Brew, because we're going to have Branch in there, because Branch is now downloading as well. So put the policy numbers in the way it is issued, and they will download for you. Set up default activities for new customers, Jim. We can talk about that. All right, the secret word. Does anybody know? That's what you were waiting for. Did you guys have that in the chat? Tell me, did you guys already have that ready to go? Oh my goodness gracious, that's a lot. We will take a look at that. Holy cow, I can't even get through. Hey, thanks for watching that. I know it's pretty goofy, but if you guys know me, I'm a pretty goofy person. So I really appreciate that. We'll go through and see who was first on there. Watch it for my fun one that's going to be for April. Do something else. Somebody said to me, green beer is 2 words instead of secret word. So I'm not going to stay with that. It might be a sentence. I don't know. We'll have to get it going and change it up for you guys. So remember to use all of the resources that we have available for you. Each of you should have received an invite to the different Facebook group for your area. If you haven't, shoot us over an email, or shoot an email to your state partner. If it's Steve, if it's Scott, if it's Kevin or Roddy, shoot them over an email, and they will get you into that Facebook group where you can still continuously add all those great questions that you guys do have. That was so many. Please let us know what you want to see in upcoming Live with Laura's. We really appreciate that. This was a really hot topic with servicing, so we wanted to get this all out to everybody So you guys have that servicing under your belt. Take advantage of all of our extra trainings, work and mentor each other as agency owners and producers and CSRs, work into that Facebook group and utilize one another. You know, maybe your area is struggling with auto or home increases, and talk amongst your peers in that Facebook group, because it's going to be so helpful, because if you're going through that, so is somebody else that's in your area. So thank you, everybody, for joining. I greatly appreciate it. I'm going to hang out because I had a couple other questions that I can answer in regards to reports. So if you want to stay on with us, stay on. If not, remember, have a happy St. Patrick's Day on Friday, and always be epic.